Welcome to another edition of Big O's Top 20 Countdown. This week, we're counting in the top 20 reggae songs. Plus, we got our guest, Caesar. And we are got the old school jam of the week you're going to really love. Some extra songs you're really going to love. Plus, we got the Black History Fact because it's in honor of Black History Month. But you guys, let's get into this countdown. The number 20 song comes from Shaka Powell. This song is called Unconditional. Let's get into it. Unconditional by Shaka Powell on Big O's Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, yo, that was the number 19 song by Squash. The song was called Foot. We're talking to our guest, Caesar. Caesar K. I don't want to mess up your last name.
Avalar, it's all right. It won't be the first, won't be the last.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Tell my listeners about yourself.
Well, a little bit about me, man. I'm a poet, that's for sure. I'm a father. I'm a partner, man. I do it all. You know what I mean? I'm a volunteer at a Café con Libros in Pomona, a literary space. And yeah, man, that's a little bit about me. And I love what I do. You know what I mean?
How many books do you have out?
I'm working on my first collection. It's finished. It'll be out with Flower Song Press in early 2023.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so cool. Wow.
Yeah. I've been writing for a minute, but like my first collection is barely about to come out, and I'm really proud of it, man.
How long have you been writing?
I would say since I was like probably a teenager, man.
Wow.
Yeah, since I was a teen. I'm 40 years old, so being a teenager, I got really into hip hop, like really hard. You know what I mean? So writing was my everyday thing. You know what I mean? And rhyming was my everyday thing. So yeah, man.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That is so cool. What inspired you to get into poetry?
Well, reading poets. Reading serious poets made me feel like I had more than something just to say for the moment. You know what I mean? Like I found out that poets are from like a long lineage of like truth tellers, and I fell in love with that, man. So yeah, that's how I fell in love with poetry.
Wow. You know what, Joe? We're gonna talk more to our guest, Caesar. But
No problem.
let's get back in this countdown. The number 18 song comes from Regine King. This song was called Therapy. Let's get into it. Therapy by Regine King on Big Old Countdown. Yeah, y'all, that was another 17 song, Chronic Law. That song was called Good from Bad. We're talking to our guest, Caesar. Caesar, you say you're a poet. You've been writing for a long time in your first collection. What's the name of the collection again?
It's gonna be called God of the Air Hose.
Ooh, wow. What's that title about?
It's crazy, man, because I mostly talk about blue collar work. Like I'm in the factory, the way we get along, the way things go, and I work with this piece of equipment that has an air hose the whole time I'm there. So all you hear is the whole time. So like sometimes when I'm in my own thoughts, that rhythm is always there.
Wow.
So sometimes when I don't want to talk to nobody, or I rather be like isolated a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like this air hose gets my rhythm going. So I called it God of the Air Hose.
Wow. I like that. I like that. I like that.
God of the Air Hose.
Poet. Um, have you done any shows or
Yeah. I try to perform as much as I can. I always do local open mics. I host an open mic once a month, and I'm proud to be a part of this, like poetry community, like in Southern California. You know what I mean? And it's amazing.
describe I want you to describe your first event going out as a poet. I want you to tell me
Oh
about
wow, man, it's great. My first event, I was at this writer's workshop at this place at a beautiful space called the Tia Chuchas in Silmar. And
it.
it's a beautiful space. And I remember the first time I went up there, like to read a poem. It was for an open mic, and it was a big deal because it was a group of us. Man, I ended up performing my poem, and as soon as I left, like sometimes you get anxious and you just want to get out of there.
Yeah.
Man, the cord wrapped around my foot, and I took the microphone with me, and
Oh,
it was funny, man. It was funny. It was totally, had the jitters and everything. It was funny and cool at the same time.
how old were you then?
Hmm. I would have to say I was in my 20s.
Oh wow, okay.
I was in my 20s, man.
Wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
man, what took you so long to come out with this book? I want to know why you waited so long to come out with your first book.
You know what, man? It's just it's one of those things where like you do something and you don't care about being acknowledged of it. That's my personal thing. So I've been writing for a long time. So like the validation of being a writer, it comes from me, man, and the Almighty. You know what I mean? So then everything else kind of gets put on pause. You know, like people ask, like, "Oh, how come you didn't never put out a collection before?" It didn't seem as important to me as it does now. You know what I mean?
I understand that. I definitely understand that. But you guys, we're talking to our guest Caesar, but let's get back into this countdown. The number 16 song comes from Nicki Minaj featuring Scoot. This song is called Like Miss, the Fine Nine remix on Big Old Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, yo, that was a number 15 song. Valiant with Saint Mary. And it's time to get now it's time to get to the extra song of the week. The extra song of the week, y'all know, since we don't have a musical guest, I gotta put my songs in here.
That's
This
right.
song is actually the first single from the album. You guys have made it such a my album that just came out last month called The Good Music Mixtape. And you guys have made this song a big hit. I want to say thank you. This song was called Triumph, God Loves Me. Let's get into it. Triumph, God Loves Me by me on Big Old Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, yo, that was the number four. That was my song. See, I'm skipping ahead. I want to say thank you guys for supporting that song. And we're talking to our guest Caesar. I'm gonna tell you guys, I actually met him at the 13th annual LA Poet Society thing, and he was so cool. He was like, I didn't get a chance to hear him because I had to get out of there. But he was so hyped up. He was all there. He was ready. I said, you know what? Let's exchange information. And I'm like, I want you to come on my show, man, because you seem like you have a great spirit. So
Thank
yeah,
you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah, man, you seem like you're a lover poet. I mean, I wish I could have stuck around and hear your poems.
Yeah, I wish you could have stuck around too, but don't worry, man. I'll read a poem that I read that night, and
Yeah, okay. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. But
yeah.
before that, I got to say something. I got to ask you something. Is
Mhm.
there anything that you haven't done in as far as poetry or your career is concerned that you would really love to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna write love poems, my man.
Oh, okay.
Romantic, quote unquote romantic love poems, but like in a way, in a really blue collar fashion. You know what I mean? Like calling on love when there ain't no love around. That's my new thing. That's
Wow.
crazy that you asked me that, man, because I've always tried to come at love poems, but when I write them, it's not really my voice. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So now that I have this idea, man, you know what I mean? Because it comes from experience.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited about that.
Wow. I definitely want to. Well, I definitely would want to read those poems that you come out with
Thank
there,
you.
man. Whew, I don't know if I should ask you to do it. You know what? I'm gonna ask you to do it when we come back. We're gonna let you spit a poem. But we got to get
Nice.
back to the countdown. The number 14 song comes from Jeff Filiato. This song is called Jericho. Let's get into it. Jeff Filiato with Jericho on Big. Ooh, Stop 20 Countdown. I stole that from Soul Train. Yeah, I always say that. You guys, that we did three in a row for you. We did Jeff Filiato with Jericho, Chronic Law with number 13 with Legend, and number 12 was Tanya Stevens featuring Patra. The song was called 50. But you guys, before we get into Caesar's poem, we got to play the comedy corner by a good friend of the show. His birthday was a couple of days ago, and he's a very, very funny comic, and he's a very, very funny, good friend of our show. This is by the name of Ronan Gray. Yes, so a good friend of us. Let's get into it. The comedy of Ronan Gray on Big Step 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, y'all, that was a comedy of Ronan Gray. Now we're gonna put our poetic brother, on the spot. I want to. You know what? I'm making you one poem this time. I'm gonna make you another poem later. Let's give me a poem. Spit it out. I'm ready.
Okay. Here you go, my man. This one is called Tears in the Masa. Masa is what we make tamales out of. So if you taste them bomb tamales during Christmas time, you know that's what it is. So this is a poem about my mom doing that. So here it goes. The phone rings. The tears burst. My mom cries. My tias follow. They run one by one like someone just died, but no, just a piece. It was my mama Esperanza calling from Honduras. My grandmother, she's alive, but her leg just got amputated, while her heart is still strong, still stuck to her daughters that cry at the kitchen table. My mom drops the phone. My tias touch their legs, fidget with their hair. They want to run back to their childhood, back to San Pedro. They envision it. They get up. They shake. They hug. They cry, turn red, then scream, Señor, ayúdenos. My mom stops sobbing, starts cooking, starts moving, starts talking, says to her sister, Norma, pásame el sartén. Their hands mix, tears with flour, pain with love, anguish with suffocation, distance with hard times, my mother's heart, my grandmother's leg, put back together, the love in the masa, the medicine of convincing tears to surrender to smiles, while turning tides of emotions, controlled by the pounding of slapping and spinning of scooping, then serving our family with healing. Tortillas de harina, frijoles con huevos, queso fresco, and light that keeps us breathing through the fire of healing when legs get lost and hearts get stuck to the kitchen table. Thank you.
I like that. That was tight. That was good. That was good.
It's a poem about my mom and my aunts. You know, my grandma had just gotten her leg amputated, and that was always a hard position for my mom growing up, and my aunts, because the distance part. You know, we're Central American. My grandmother was from Honduras. She lived over there, and my house was like the meeting place to use the phone.
Okay.
So we always had family there. It was like, you know, talking to my grandma, and it was like really intense during those times. And I just had to write a poem about that.
Oh, okay. So are you originally from LA or are you
Yeah, I was born in the San Fernando Valley in Granada Hills.
Oh, okay.
That's where I was born at, you know, and my family, you know, my dad is from El Salvador, my mom's from Honduras. So yeah, man, that's just, you know, that's my cultural background right there.
That is so cool. That is so cool that you brought your life into it. Wow. Wow, that was deep. That was deep, man. I like that. We're gonna have you do another poem a little bit later.
No problem, man.
Man, and I'm gonna come back with some more questions for you. Let's get back in this countdown. The number we already did the number 14. The number 11 song is by Chronic Law. This song is called Empty. Let's get into it. Empty by Chronic Law on Big Stop 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, y'all, that was the number 10 song. Valiant, another Valiant song with this song. That song was called North Carolina. Now it's time to get into the second extra song of the week. Uh-oh, you're going to get sick of me because we're going to play all my songs on here.
That's right.
This song is called Vacation. I don't know when the video is going to come out, but it's going to come out. It's probably going to be the second or third single. But this is going to be definitely a third single. Let's get into it. Vacation by me on Big Old Stop 20 Countdown, second extra song of the week. Yeah, you know, that was very, very the good song. It's kind of reggae, got a reggae vibe. That's why I put it up on there. Let's take a vacation. Yeah, we're talking to, I guess, Caesar. Caesar, you're doing a lot. You said you also volunteer at where do you volunteer?
It's called Café con Libros Press in Pomona. And every second Saturday of the month, there's an art walk, and then we have an open mic. And we just started writing workshops every month too. So anyone that wants to come down.
How'd you get involved with them?
You know, they've been around a long time. They were around like 15 years ago. Then they closed down. That was I even came on the scene with them. And then when they reopened, I was walking around and I seen a place that said Café con Libros press. I go, this kind of seems like my vibe. And I just walk in and they were just barely building stuff. And they were talking. They were like, oh, you know, we would like volunteers to help us out, you know. And I was like, man, the only thing I could help you out with is with some poetry. I could host an open mic. I'd be willing to commit to that, you know? And it's a very selfish reason because I love poetry. And I was like, man, shoot, I'll do this every month, you know? So I did. I volunteered and I've been there for the last, I think, 5 years, going on 6.
I was about to ask you that. Yeah, wow, that is so cool. And how did you get involved with the LA Poet Society?
You know, Jessica and Juan, I've been knowing them for a cool minute. I met them at Tia Chucha's, where I used to go frequently, and they spent a lot of time there, and so I've been kind of knowing them a good while, and they're amazing folks. You know what I mean? That's how I started getting along with them.
Wow, that is so cool. Wow. You know what? We're gonna come back with more of your poetry and more, and we're gonna get into your business too. Get ready for that. Let's get back to this Palm Town. The number 9 song comes from DJ Khaled featuring Skill Bean and Buju Banton, Cape Town, Bonnie Killer, and Sizzler. This song is called These Streets Know My Name. Let's get into it. The number 9 song, These Streets Know My Name. On Big Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, we did a 3 in a row. These Streets Know My Name by DJ Khaled, featuring all them people. Number 8 song was by Masca. The song was called Umbrella. The number 7 song was by Silk Boss, and that song was called Surgery. Let's get into the Independent Jam of the Week. You guys, we played the album January 1st, but we're gonna play some more. We're gonna play one more song from the album. This is actually gonna be the second single from the album, and it's gonna be premiered very, very soon. The video. This song is called J-O-Y. Let's get into it. J-O-Y by me on Big Top 20 Reggae Countdown, man. Yeah, y'all, that was a very dancey song, J-O-Y. Can't wait for you guys to see the video. It's going to be tight. We're talking to our guest, Caesar. Caesar. Before you get into your poem, I want to ask you, what advice would you give someone who wants to be a poet?
The best thing I could say is whoever you like as a poet. I would first read poetry, that's for sure. Sift through all the people that you ain't gonna vibe with, the ones that you are gonna vibe with. That's what I would do. I would just, and then in the ones that you like, there's a little bit of you in there. That's an unofficial rule that I've come up with. Every time I read something for the first time and I like it, I research, who that person is, and there is a little bit of me, a little bit of something there. It's a reason why you came across that path. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Wow, that is so cool, man. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get into another one of your poems.
Okay, this is one called Pancho. It goes like this: unshaken, unbeaten, undisputed Pancho, the champion of the world, Pancho, the supervisor of distribution, Pancho, el escorpión de la bodega, Pancho, the myth, the legend, the master of loading and unloading, shipping and receiving, the coordinator of money, of who gets what and how much, Pancho. We don't have product, better distribute the loss evenly, better know the rules, what clients got deeper pockets, who's a player and who watches from the sideline, Pancho moves the product. Pancho gets things done. And today, all that went out the door. You see, Pancho made a mistake. Worked too many hours, made love for too long, took his eye off of the ball, didn't coordinate correctly. He'd been trying to survive the hacking of bosses. No one can hang, get the work done except for good old Pancho, except the dreamer. The owner needed a fast delivery. Pancho couldn't do it. What failure, what sign of weakness, what lack of dedication, what arrogance. He's weak, he fumbled, dropped the industrial ball of privilege, status yet higher than most, of warehouse manager. Pancho is devastated, wants to die, cries without weeping, looks without feeling. But Pancho kept his job. Pancho's name is now trash. It's the same it's always been, but now he sees it, hears it in the gossip, pretends he doesn't know. Pancho, no longer the legend, the champ, the scorpion of the bodega. Now he's just Francisco, one loss and dethroned forever. Hey, thank you, man.
That was good. That was good, man. I
Thank you.
like that. That was really cool. When did you write that?
I wrote this about a couple of months ago.
Or is that going to be in your book?
No, that's gonna be in book number 2.
Oh, okay. You already planning book number 2.
I am already working on another manuscript. I don't know the name of it yet, but I'm thinking about a couple of names. One of them is seized, like Caesar, but you got seized. You know what I mean? So that's one of the ones I was thinking about. I was playing around with, but I don't know the name yet though.
Don't worry about it. It's just you're in your early stages. It'll come.
Stages, yeah.
It'll come. Most probably like thinking, see the king. I don't know. Don't get me started. I'm not good. I'm good with names of my own, but not everybody else's.
Yeah, I feel that. It's tricky,
It is. It's very tricky, man. But you guys, let's get back in this countdown. The number 6 song comes from TJ. This song was called People. Let's get into it. TJ, People on Big Top 20 Countdown, baby. Yeah, yo, that was the number 5 song. Shinza featuring Skill Being. That song was called Rain. Now it's time to get into the old school gem of the week. And I promise you it's not me. It's by James Brown. And this is Black History Month. This is the second day of Black History Month. And so we had to play this song by James Brown. This song is called Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. Let's get into it. Say it loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. And then immediately following this, we want to do the Black History Fact. Let's get into it. James Brown said out loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. The old school gentleman going big. Top 20 Countdown. Yeah, y'all. That was James Brown, the godfather of soul music. Right. Yeah. Now it's time to get into the Black History Fact for this week. This week's Black History Fact. I promise you, I'm not gonna talk for a long time and bore you all. This one is about Timothy Drew, and he's better known as Noble Drew Ali. He is the founder. He was an American who founded the Moorish Science Temple of America, and he's considered a prophet by his followers. In 1913, he founded the Canaanite Temple in Newark, New Jersey, before they relocated to Chicago, where he gained the following of thousands of converters. Following the murder of the rival Moorish Science Temple leader, Drew Ali was arrested but never charged and sent to jail. He died in 1929, shortly after being released. One version of his life, common among members of the Moorish Science Temple, holds that Drew was raised by an abusive aunt who once threw him into a furnace. This version holds that he left home at 16 and joined a band of Romani people who took him overseas to Egypt and the Middle East. Drew Ali also reportedly worked as a circus magician on a merchant seaman before purportedly traveling to Egypt. He never received a formal education, but at some point he came into contact with Eastern philosophy. Drew Ali used all the dark olives, dark olive people. And it finally ends, it goes a little bit more. They would tell the Mate Temple, but Drew Ali is known as the greatest of the Moorish people, the Moorish Temple people. And that was the Black History Fact. I know it's like this. I know it's weird. I shouldn't be saying that because we have a Latino guest, but it's still Black History. But I gotta celebrate. You feel me? I always celebrate. But how is it important for you to celebrate yourself and your culture?
Well, it's very important because without culture, without any form of reference of where you came from, that could be very unhealthy, I feel. So so it's important for me not only to celebrate, but also to recognize the good and the bad that comes with, being of my culture,
Yes. Yeah. Already asked the advice. What is Would you ever want to work with another poet to write a
Oh
poem?
man, yeah, I would want to do that. There are many poets that I would want to do that, but there are two in specific. Man, I don't know. That's
That's
hard.
say it,
That's just hard, you know. Like there's so many, like a lot of people. Like I don't get starstruck. Like if I see a celebrity, I do not care. But if I see a poet, I don't care who knows them. If I know them, yo, man, I get all nerdy and all that. You know what I mean? Get all giggly. So if I could work with a couple, man, I don't know. That is hard. That would even if I could go back in time and work with a poet of back, I would have to work with Langston Hughes,
Oh, yeah,
and
I love it.
I would, yeah, you know what I mean? Just the way he writes, you know, is amazing. And dun dun dun. And there's a old Puerto Rican poet. His name is Pedro Pietri, which is amazing, my man. Amazing, amazing. He has this poem called Puerto Rican Obituary, which is amazing. So y'all just gotta check that out. You know what I mean?
Okay, those are your influences as well.
I think so, man. Langston is definitely up in my writing. I've read him so many times. There's no way to get him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He is in there for sure.
yeah. I remember I got one of his that really got me to listening to reading his poetry book. Somebody gave me the anthology of Langston Hughes and I was like 17 or 18 years old. I was
Wow.
already that's man, you got to read it. It's like it's all good. Everything from the time he started until the time he died. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
Um, but you guys, you know what? You almost get by, brother. But we got to get into your business, man.
Okay.
Business, man. What your love life look like, brother? Shout
Oh
it out.
man. My love life is a happy life. You know, I've been happily with my partner for a long time, dude. Her name is Nadia Evangelista. She is a beautiful woman, dude. She's the mother of my babies. We
All
have
right.
we got a beautiful home together, you know what I'm saying? Like that is that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It is I'm blessed to have the partner I got, you know. She has to deal with the crazy poet, you know.
How many kids you all have?
I got two.
Shout them out. Shout them out.
Oh, I got Noah, my oldest one, 14, and Elijah, my little one, my little baby boy that's 6. So
Oh,
yeah, I got a cool family, brother.
how is it being a father and a poet?
Well, that's crazy because you gotta watch what you say. You gotta watch what you say. See, kids, they'll make you be real because they're gonna ask a question. You know, they're gonna ask. Like if I say something in a poem, my older one especially will ask a question like, you know, what do you mean by this? What's going on? And you gotta be a dad. You know, you gotta let them know what you really meant. You know what I mean? And
Wow,
poetry, there's sensitive topics. Not everything's all beautiful.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
Wow, you're right about that.
Yeah, so that's being a dad is hard, man.
It is. But trust me, I've been there, man. I have a 23-year-old now.
Oh,
And now shout out to my 23-year-old and shout out
child.
to my grandkids. Yeah, my
Oh man,
grandkids.
congratulations on them grandkids, man. Hopefully I get to have some grandkids one day.
Don't rush it.
No, no. You're right.
It's the best thing to be. But you guys, let's get back in this countdown. The number 4 song comes from Skune featuring Nicki Minaj. This song was called Like Little Miss Remix. Yeah, okay. This is another remix of the same song. Let's get into it on Big Old Top 20 Countdown. Yeah, y'all, we did a 3 in a row for you. We did Little Miss, the other remix by Skune and featuring Nicki Minaj. The number 3 song was Clockwork, Steflon, Dawn, and Spice. Number 2 was Silk Boss and Sorry. And now it's time to get into number 1 song. This one is by Skune by himself. This song is called Giveman Session. Giveman Session. Let's get into it. Giveman Session on Big Top 20 Countdown, baby. Number 1. Yeah, y'all, that was the number 1 song by Skune. Caesar, how can people reach you?
Oh, you can reach me. Let me give you my phone number. No, just kidding. I will give you. You can reach me at
We have all kinds of random chicks calling you.
Yeah, my wife would be like, "What the hell?" No, you can reach me. Instagram is usually good. It's a Caesar, CeasarKavelar. So Caesar K Avalar, all in one shot, and you can find me right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to say thank you to our guest Caesar.
Thank you, Shay.
Um, and I want to say thank you to all the radio stations that are carrying this podcast. It's a slow motion radio, slow motion. We also have the Block FM, and we just reunited with our first radio station, which was Kill Radio, and we're also on Spotify. Thank you, and you guys. I want to say thank you for supporting the two-part episode that we did last week, which was our 250th episode. This is 252. Wow, do you believe it? Wow, 7 seasons. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all you all who are listening. And the thought for the week is keep going higher and you will always reach the top.
Mm.
And we always end this with the gospel song. And the gospel song is Not Me. This gospel song is by Donnie McClurkin. This song is called The Great I Am. Let's get into it. The Great I Am by Donnie McClurkin on Big Old Top 20 Countdown. May God bless you. May God keep you until we meet again. And that's it.